What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man
What's
George.
shaking, guys? How y'all living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course, man. And we've been getting a lot of people asking us to do this. I know we're a little late compared to the rest of the internet to get to this, but we had to do something from Ye's album. This album is just, I've seen people just going crazy on this damn album. I've seen, it's been difficult to not listen to something from the album. It's 27 tracks, and I've been hearing all this stuff going online, right? We've been hearing a lot of things. It's trash, and it's a masterpiece, it's a classic, so we have gotten so many, the Soulja Boy's going crazy online, Chris Brown going in. So we are definitely a little out of the loop here with this album, because I know there was a lot of controversy surrounding it. We weren't too tuned in, quite frankly, to all that controversy.
I haven't heard anything off this album.
Yeah.
I've tried to stay away from it for that purpose.
Or anything surrounding the album, right? You know what I'm saying?
I try to stay away from all that he said, she said shit, you know. But that shit is funny, though.
But Kanye is a trip, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
But all I know is Hov is on this track. And we know what it is with Kanye and Jay, man. We know they've been estranged for a little while. They've had like a rocky relationship as of late. And we know that they've made magic in the past, man. We'll Watch the Throne and all this. So, let's see what's up, man. We're not going to talk too much, man. Let's get into it. Let's catch up to the rest of the world. Kanye West, Jail.
Take what you want. Take everything. Take what you want. Take what you want. Better that I change my number so you can explain. Balance in the night. Balance in the night. Price. Do you have any price? Well, that one time, I'll be honest. We all liars.
Wait for that beat.
That shit is taking forever.
I was like, can't wait for that beat to drop, boy.
Yeah,
When is it coming?
I hope the whole song isn't like this, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a reserve judgment, man. Let's because Kanye, man, he's hit or miss with me personally, and I'm from Chicago, so there's no George will tell you, man. Just because you from Chicago, don't give you a pass with me
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
I can count on one hand that motherfuckers from Chicago he fuck with. I have to appreciate, people who are experimental. You know what I'm saying? And Kanye is one of those guys, man.
Yes,
He's one of those
yes,
guys
sir.
that's always led the charge and pushed boundaries. So it's always I'm always gonna appreciate his attempts, whether or not I like it or not. So let's start that back up, though. We just we just get kind of acclimated to it. But I would like to hear some drums. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Take what you want.
It's coming though. Don't like
Take
anticipate.
everything. Take what you want. Take what you want. Better that I change my number so you can explain. Balance in the night. Balance in the night. Price. Do you have any price? Well, that one time, I'll be honest. We all liars. Let it go. I'll be honest. We all liars. I'll be honest. We all liars. I'm pulled over and I got priors. Guess we going down. Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Gotta go post my bail tonight.
Okay. Go ahead, Ryan. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, go ahead, man.
Go
now, because-
ahead. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, because I know we both got. Okay, go ahead. Just.
All right, ready? Polar opposites. All right.
Maybe I don't want creativity anymore. Maybe I want creativity as long as there are traditional elements in it. I don't know what
All right,
I don't know
man.
what I want anymore.
You know, man, there's so many thoughts going through my head when I listen to this, and we're only what, a minute into it? Yeah, a minute and a half. And he said, take what you want, take everything, take what you want from me. So I'm guessing that might be the Kim Kardashian and
Yeah.
you know, the separation. You know, and I thought that, but then he's following up with that violence in the night, priors. Do you have any product? Which I don't know how that correlates to him and Kim Kardashian breaking up, but maybe that's a total separate line.
Okay.
Maybe this is just him getting some shit off his chest though, because we know he can go on these tangents just like me. You know, I go on tangents and start talking and shit. So maybe he's just talking and what's real to him and just and putting his feelings and his life on center stage. You know, and I do have to give him credit for being brave enough and having the courageous leadership to do stuff like that.
I'm gonna give Kanye the same treatment I gave Kendrick, man, when we did that Baby Keem reaction with Kendrick, man. I trust Ye overall. You know what I mean? I don't like everything he does, but I do trust him because he's just earned it. He's earned my trust with some of these experimental things that he's done in his music, man. And I know that he's a leader. You know what I'm saying? He pushes the genre forward. He
does.
has for sure done that throughout his career. So I'm gonna let this song settle in a little bit more, man. And you know, I'll let y'all know what I think.
Going to jail tonight. Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Gotta go post my bill tonight. Don't you curse at me on text. Why you try to hit the flex? I hold up like what? I scroll up like next. Guess who's getting next? Like next. Guess who's getting next? You made a choice that's your bad. Single life ain't so bad, but we ain't finna go there. Something's on my tell you why. Guess who's going to jail tonight? What a great plan to say, yeah. I could scream and shout, let it out. I'll be honest, we all liars. I'll be honest, we all liars.
This is it.
I'm
Just
full
all.
and I got priors. Guess we going down.
Yo, Ye
Guess
is hilarious to me, man. What did he say? The way the fact that he sung this, though.
Yes.
What did he say?
Go ahead.
Don't you curse me on text while you try to hit the flex. I hold up like what? I scroll up like next. The way
We
he's
all liars.
with the choir in the background.
Oh,
man.
Jesus.
Guess who's getting X'd? Like next. Whatever.
Sounds like somebody's heartbroken to me. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah, but I'm curious, how many dislikes do we have at this point in the video, man? How many? I know I don't want to clown this. It's just different, man. This is really a raw reaction, man. I really want y'all to understand that we have not heard anything from this album. I want to talk about the first verse, man. I want to try to get an overall idea of where he's going here, because you had mentioned Kim Kardashian, right? Him getting divorced from her, because we know that he's gotten a divorce from her, and Kanye's always going to, him and Drake and even Hove, a lot of the greats have the luxury, and they've earned this luxury of being able to talk about personal things that everyone can kind of relate to on some way. We can look at their personal life and say, oh, that's what's going on in their lives. I'm keeping track of it, so to speak. And you can just kind of give your opinion and you can have feelings about it. You can care about it. So I'm assuming you talking about Kim Kardashian, and it seems like he confirms that right here when he said single life ain't so bad. You made a choice that's your bad, single life ain't so bad. So I'm assuming she hit him on a text like cursing him out, it looks like, and then he looked like, what the fuck you say? Basically on text she was just saying that it's not working, it sounds like is what he's saying. Overall, man, I look at Kanye's life, we look at the just the controversy, everything from the Taylor Swift situation where he was defending Beyonce and saying that she had the greatest video, the greatest song of the year, or whatever the case may be, to the supporting the Trump, to slavery is a choice, all these things that people, the world has come down on him for. I look at that and then I say to myself, it's always has seemed that Kanye has been on trial, right? It seems like he's been on trial. So when he says, yes, I'm going to jail tonight, but God gonna post my bail tonight, I feel like regardless of what's been going on, all the controversy, all of the public being against me, and even with this album rollout, with Soulja Boy and all these people coming at his head, regardless of what negativity he brings or what he's done or some of the mistakes he's made, right? Like you said, Ryan.
Yep.
God's got his back. I feel like it's just a way of him saying, you know what, it's not worth, my mental well-being to even deal with this divorce, because even him saying, better that I changed my number so you can't explain. It's his way of just letting go, and I think there's a certain level of freedom with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
even though I'm in jail right now, like these constraints, a lot of things weighing on my heart and weighing on my soul,
Yeah.
I'm going to hit the reset button anyway. God's going to help me hit the reset button, and I'm going to move forward. Is how I'm taking the song overall.
Yeah.
But when he said, I'll be honest, we all liars. And then he switched over to I'm pulled over, I got priors, guess we going to jail tonight. I think that's true. I think that we all lie to ourselves on some level, right?
Every day, all day.
Yeah, I think we all lie to ourselves, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. I think that we lie in some capacity. I don't know if he means, we're not living our truths. We're trying to fit into what society wants us to whatever that mode is, instead of living out our own truth. So we lie to ourselves, thinking that we're happy. Whatever. But then again, I look at someone like Kanye, and I feel like I feel like he looks at himself as someone that. This is what telling the truth looks like. This is what it looks like when you're 100% honest and you're not lying to yourself. You're very vulnerable, and people are gonna look at you crazy. It comes with consequences being
Yes, it does.
telling that real, unfiltered truth, right? Yeah. Which is the consequences of him being in jail. Maybe, I'm taking it more as a metaphor, right?
Yeah.
But him literally being sort of jailed, his thoughts being jailed, his spirit, his soul being jailed. From being real.
We all are in jail, pretty much.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying?
We're in a different jail, yeah.
Yeah.
We all lies. He's like, but but there's a freedom that when he's singing this, God, guess we going to jail tonight. It almost seems like, I'm happy I'm going to jail. That's what it sounds like to me. Like I'm relieved. I'm happy to tell my truth and deal with the consequences, because I know at the end of the day, God's got me. You know what I'm saying? So, it's growing on me a little bit, but we're gonna let the song keep rocking. I don't think drums are coming, unfortunately, but I think it's a rap at this point.
You think so?
I don't know. We'll see.
We are 2 minutes into it, so
Not that it's mandatory to have drums in hip hop songs. Plenty of hip hop songs I like without drums, but this I just really would like. Anyways.
yeah, that Follow God was hard.
Yeah,
I love that.
We don't even want to get into that.
That was hard.
All right, man. Let's get back to it, guys.
I could scream and shout, let it out. I'll be honest, we all liars. I'll be honest, we all liars. I'm pulled over and I got priors. Guess we going jail. Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? God gon' post my bail tonight.
God in my cells, that's my celly. Made in the image of God, that's a selfie.
That's hard.
Pray 5 times a day, so many felonies. Who gon' post my bail? Lord, help me. Hold up, Donda, I'm with your baby when I touch back road. Told him stop all of that red cat, we going home. Not me with all of these sins, casting
That
stones.
Red Cap line was hard.
This might be the return of the throne. Throne, over, and Jesus, like Moses and Jesus. You're not in control of my thesis. You already know what I think by think pieces. For you actually already told you he think he is. Don't try to jail my thoughts and think presents. I can't be controlled with programming presets. Reset on my cell, in my cell tonight. Don't have to see you to touch you. This is what Braille look like. It's on sight. If they take me to jail, call my girl, tell her send my mail. We know what hell look like. Still, it's a hell of a life. Yikes.
Guess who's
A lot
going
of
to
slick
jail
things in
tonight?
that verse, man. He said,
Guess who's going to
what did he say? Tell him stop all that red cap. We going home. That was hard. That was super hard, actually, when you really think about that line. So I think he's referencing when Kanye was wearing a MAGA hat, right? He was wearing a MAGA hat. So I like this though. I like the feeling of this verse to me, because you know that Kanye and Jay has been, they've been
Kind of estranged and shit. Yeah.
they've been at odds for a little while. They weren't talking, and Kanye went off on him publicly on stage, yada, 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 right?
But I think it was always been a mutual respect and
And
love.
love.
for both of each other,
Yeah.
for both of these guys,
Yeah.
towards each other.
100%. Jay, even when they weren't talking, Jay was saying that about Kanye. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, I love him, but sometimes a little bit of space, a little bit of space is needed.
Yep.
So when he says, "Hold up, Donda, I'm with your baby when I touch back road," to me that's like, it sounds like Kanye had the song Big Brother off of Graduation. It sounds like a big brother.
Yeah.
Talking to Kanye's mom, like, "Yo, I got him, man." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We gonna get him off that red cap though. You know what I'm saying? When he says red cap, again, the MAGA hat, but he's also saying that capping, like you're lying, that cap. Get that shit out of here, man. We got him. So it sounds like a big bro saying, "I got you, son, man." He was wilding for a little bit, but we gonna bring him back to where he needs to be. You know what I'm saying? With family and people that care about him and yada yada yada. So I thought that was just really dope because that felt like a big brother type of statement. But I like what he said, not me with all these sins casting stones, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he who throws, what's the Bible verse?
Yeah, I
He who
can't
throws the first
recite
stone.
it, but
Yeah.
but basically we all are sinners.
Yeah.
Basically is
Yeah.
what that means. You can't, that's the pot calling the kettle black,
Right.
so to speak. You know what I
Right.
mean? You can't really condemn someone for their sins when you have sins of your own,
Right.
basically.
And this is this sort of like religious sort of undertone throughout this entire verse when he said made in the image of God. Now that's a selfie. You know what I'm saying?
That was hard.
I love that line. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
Pray so many times a day, so many felonies. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I like that too.
praying 5 times a day, that's more in relation to Islam. So again, all religious elements in here. But the whole selfie, the one thing I like about Hov though, when he talks shit, talks his slick talk, is he'll say some young shit, some modern slang, but then add wisdom in
Yeah,
it. And he'll
that's
kind of
true.
make it like he'll say some shit that's young, but then but the undertone of it is that I'm grown though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Made in the image of God. Now that's what I call
A
a
selfie.
selfie. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I ain't doing all that. I don't know what y'all talking about with the sellies, right? Like when he said that money phone line on the 444 album.
Yeah.
We don't call that money over here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That was like a modern thing that people do. They playing with money phones and shit, but then he adds substance and slick talk in it.
That's true.
That's the same thing I feel like he did here. Is, aid in the image of God. Like that's we are all in God's image. These are all Bible related
Yep.
quotes
That's
or
a
elements.
selfie.
Now that's a selfie, right? I see myself in God. I see God in me.
Correct.
But I think that line going back to not me with all these sins cast in stones. I love that because he's flawed. That's what he's saying. You know what I mean? How am I? Because I'm assuming that he was looking at Ye like he was crazy. Because going back to the red cap line, like this motherfucker, like that's my brother, but he's bugging, and he's probably very judgmental of that situation. And then he kind of reflected and said, "But look at me though. You know what I'm saying? Look at my because Jay, in his day, right, did some things that I'm sure he's not proud of, and it's all in his music." Sold drugs to his community. But anyways, man, let's just finish the song up, man, because Jay has a lot in that verse
He
that
does.
I really want to go back. That Braille line, we will go back to that verse, but I feel like because I could just talk for another 15 minutes, man. So Ryan can talk for another 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So
man.
let's just finish the song, and then we'll get back to breaking some of those other lines down. But he went in on that verse.
This is what Braille look like. It's on sight. If they take me to jail, call my girl, tell her send my mail. We know what hell look like. Still, it's a hell of a life. Yikes.
Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? I'm gonna post my bail tonight.
Oh, there's the beat.
Is this the next song?
Probably goes into the problem.
Whenever you hear drums, you're like, something. The song's starting, right?
It's starting at the end.
I'm assuming it sounds like it's leading into another.
Yeah, probably on the album. Yeah, probably goes through it.
Okay. Sound like OJ the Juice Man. Okay. And I wanted to get back up to that J verse, like I said, because there was some stuff in there, man, that I thought was really, really slick. We kind of skipped over this when he said God in my cell. Now that's my cellie, right? So the whole song is called Jail, and he's saying God's in my cell. that's my celly. So to me, what that says is, even when I'm locked down, I have God with me. It's
That's
nothing.
a cellmate.
Yeah, that's a cellmate. I'm, you know, it's nothing to me. You know what I mean? Doing the time or whatever. Like, if you can take it literally or figuratively, but it's nothing. You know what I mean? When God's in my cell, man, I don't have any worries. If you take me to jail, my girl gonna tell her to send me my mail. We know what hell look like. Still, it's a hell of a life. So how I'm taking that last part in relation to what I said earlier about God in my cell, that's my celly, is we're comfortable. We're comfortable dealing with difficult situations, right? Discomfort, right? You know, we come from nothing. We come from the slums, poverty. We know we've been through hell. We know what hell look like. Tell my girl to send me my mail. I'm good. He said, reset. You know, on my cell, in my cell tonight, don't have to see you to touch you. This is what Braille looked like. It's on sight. You know what I'm saying? So when he says don't have to, it's some mob ball shit, right?
Yeah.
That's like a mob line, right? I'm looking at Jay as this you know, mob, big time guy. Just because I'm locked down right now,
Don't mean I can't touch you, bro.
Don't mean that you can't get hurt. I can make a call on my cell, have one of my mans, you know, do something to you if you violate, right? That's what he said. But also when you think about Braille, right? I don't have to see you to touch you. This is what Braille looks like. That's what Braille is, right? You know, you're not seeing anything, but you feel it and you're touching it, right?
And it's on sight.
So the whole play on, I don't have to see you to touch you, but it's on sight. When someone says it's on sight, that means like the minute I see you, you're gonna get touched. Even though he's saying I don't have to see you
to touch,
but I will see you. You know what I'm saying? So really, really super clever there. And then also when he says, "Still it's a hell of a life," yikes, right? Hell of a Life is a song on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right? We know that song. And then Yikes was on, was it Yay? Yikes, it can get menacing.
Yeah, that was yeah. I used to fucking bang that
joint is crazy, right? I think that was on Ye, if I'm not mistaken. So he's also playing on Kanye's a couple songs from his discography, right? When he said, "You are not in control of my thesis. You already know what I think about think pieces. Before you ask, he already told you who he thinks he is, right?" And he's just talking about Ye. Ye has mentioned that he thinks he's, you know, he's that dude. You know what I mean? He's godlike. You know what this is, man. You know, so, but I like when he said, "You already know what I think about think pieces." You know these journalistic pieces that kind of talk about what they want from the artist and all this other stuff, and they try to steer the artist in a certain direction. Like, you can't steer me, right? You can't control my thoughts. You know what I mean? Because he said I can't be controlled with programs and presets. Before that, though, he said, "Don't try to jail my thoughts or think presents. I can't be controlled with programs and presets. Don't try to jail my thoughts or think precincts." Jail, precinct, you know, you're in a gym. Precinct is essentially a jail. But precincts, right? You can't constrain my thoughts to try to spin my words to make money from, is how I'm taking it. Like, you're trying to control my thoughts and spin my words just so that you can get clicks and shit to make money off of my thoughts. Pre-sense. Right? But pre-sense in jail is just super, super fucking clever, right?
It is.
But I like when he said this might be the return of the throne. Obviously, Watch the Throne, you know, Jay-Z and Kanye, that collab album that they did. Everyone, you know, is a very critically acclaimed album. Love that album. And, you know, that's him saying, man, this is sort of a reunion of sorts, right? You know, we've been estranged. Kanye, I've seen all the shit that's going on in the news. We kind of had a disagreement, maybe a difference of opinion and views on life and political affiliations. But at the end of the day, it's love. There's family there. You know what I'm saying? And there's always been love there, but we just needed a bit of time. And now we're coming back to smash the game, man. You know, that's what we doing. He ain't had to say much, man, to let you know that, you know what I'm saying? You ain't had to rapidy rap you to death, man, to let you know that the pen is serious.
That verse was hard, man. I think, in my opinion, that kind of saved the song for me, but we'll get into that in a minute. One of the verses, the lines that I liked a lot when he said Hova and Jesus, like Moses and Jesus. I know both of those biblical figures were in danger of being killed by people, you know what I mean? But they were very instrumental in leading people and really giving us the life that we have here today, right? If you believe in that. So I think that's kind of the correlation that he's making, that both of us have had our own struggles, you know what I'm saying? Even against each other, you know what I'm saying? But we both are great in our own right, and we persevered through. Right. So when he says we know what hell looks like, but we still have a hell of a life, we both have had hard lives prior to us meeting each other, even with us coming together in music and having our disagreements. in show business and in the industry, but we still had a hell of a life in the midst of all of the hell and chaos.
That's right.
You know, which I think was hard.
And I think we can see that. Absolutely.
The song in its totality, man, I got to keep it 1,000. I'm not in love with it. To me, this is kind of a diary of Kanye's emotion and what he's going through in his life. And I think that that's beautiful because you alluded to this earlier. He's a billionaire. He can do what the fuck he wants to do. So I think this is him doing what the fuck he wants. Like, dude, you know, I'm gonna just, you know, put my business on Front Street, so to speak, and just say my truth. You know, whether you agree with it or not, I think that's kind of the way Kanye rocks because he can. The bag is still secured. He's still confident in what he is, in who he is as a man. And no matter what you think is going to jeopardize that. I love that from Kanye. I really kind of root for him, you know, because I feel like he's a free thinker. I feel like he's a
100%.
You know, divergent that George and I like to say with people, you know, that think independently, divergent. Right. But you know, when I listen to his songs, man, I'm always one song away of like writing Kanye off for good. I'm like this close every single time.
He'll bring you back.
And then he'll hit me with something that I'm like, yeah, that's hot. Maybe the rest of the album, man, I could probably get into it because I'm sure it's something on there that I'll fuck with.
My thing about Kanye is that he always has some of the dopest ideas, man. The dopest ideas and concepts. But I always feel like it's a bit scatterbrained sometimes. Like I feel like he has a great thought and he's on the cusp of saying something really important and then he'll shoot himself in the foot and just go different directions and we're like, wait, what? And he confuses people and I always feel like I know where he's going, but he doesn't always quite say it in the most coherent way. And it kind of, I really get frustrated because I'm like, dude, that's so smart. And I think he likes it like that maybe as well, but it just, from a listener standpoint, it frustrates me sometimes because I think he has some really dope things I just don't think people are quite grasping, you know? And then sometimes I just think, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? If I'm being honest. But I think that's cool, such as with most great artists. Sometimes you're just like, it's just left up for a billion different interpretations. But just to sum it up, man, this song has moments of brilliance in it. I think Jay's verse was excellent. I think that Kanye, I think the melody in this is cool. And I see it being something that can really get the crowd going. More as an intro, to be honest with you. Like if he was starting a concert, I could see him starting the concert with this song. I get that. Bum, bum. Mm-hmm. Guess we're going to jail tonight. Bum, bum. And the lights flashing. Yep. I see this as a performance piece. But it's hard for me to look at it as a complete song for some reason. It always feels like it's leading up to something but doesn't come in. My traditional hip-hop ears always looks for drums for the most part. Ghostface, and there's a lot of rappers that I can name, have made songs without drums that I've loved. Yeah. But for the most part, when there's not drums in it, it's hard for me to get into... I don't get into a rhythm. I don't get into a groove with the song. And Ryan had mentioned this. It doesn't feel musical. I think that's what it is. That doesn't make it feel that way. Because it feels like you're waiting for something to drop, and it doesn't quite drop ever. I'm gonna give it another listen. As of right now, I don't know if I can play it, but I do appreciate it, and that's kind of where I'm at. I appreciate where he was going, him bearing his soul, and I really appreciate Jay's verse and what the song seems to mean with God gonna post my bail tonight. You know what I mean? And regardless of what you're going through, man, if you have faith and, you know, depending on what you believe, you know, and you stay true to your faith and who you are, I mean, you know, things will work out in your favor. So I love that. So I don't know if it's not playlist right now, man. I'm gonna have to sit with that a little bit longer, man. So assuming this doesn't get a copyright strike on our channel, you know what I'm saying? Give us some, you know, we're gonna see. We're a little worried about this one, putting this one up. So we'll see about possibly doing, you know, some other joints from the album, man. Give us some feedback on what other options you want. I'm gonna say this: we got about maybe two more days of me not listening to the album. So get your request in now for any other songs you want. Because after 2 days, I'm gonna listen to the album. So give us some suggestions for what else you guys want us to react to. And that's it. If you guys enjoyed that, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm George. That's Ryan Lost in Vegas.
We out.